and welcome. We are here today for Ashley's Heart Song on the Win-Win Women TV network. This is the place where we get out of the stress and back into our body, our life, our business. This is the Three Brains approach to increased health, energy, and vitality. And today I am welcoming you to the power of earthing. Earthing has been done for centuries, and little did we know at the time back then that earthing was so beneficial for the body. But as we are surrounded by concrete and buildings and man-made materials, man-made floorings, we are missing a huge component to our health, and that is the ability for us to earth. If you live in a city, then you might find that there's some earthing tools that you can get that will benefit you. However, if you live in around property, around grass or sand, you are ahead of the game. So let's get on with this powerful topic around earthing. And to do that, I want to kick it off by saying welcome. Those of you who are joining me live, I'm so happy to see you here. And those of you watching the replay recordings, wherever they are posted, welcome. And if you have any questions on earthing, I hope that you feel free to reach out to me. But we will get to some Q&A time in a little bit, so hang tight for that. Usually really cool questions are asked during that time so that we can dive just a little bit deeper into our topic. But I'd like to start out with a quote by Sarah Breedis. She says, I love this, and then she felt calm wash over her as the earth grounded her with its might. Have you ever been barefoot and on the beach or in grass on top of a mountain, and you're standing there with your feet firmly planted in this beautiful earth and felt connected, felt the energy from the earth come up through your feet and just be absorbed by your body? This really does happen. And as we move through the top 10 reasons why you want to begin earthing, you are going to find out so much about how the body and the earth really, they marry, and the body benefits so much through the earth. Walking barefoot is like being radiated with the heartbeat of the ground with every step that you take. So remember when you were a little kid and you are running full tilt across your yard or down the street. Well, down the street's on concrete, but still you had that childlike zest. Then you're running on the grass, or maybe you're running across the beach and you just feel so zestful, zesty, energized. We wonder why children, their energy restores so quickly. Well, if they're running around barefoot, that's one of the reasons why, is because their energy is truly restored because of the electrical current of the earth. They are sent up into the body, and our body is electrical as well, right? And so when we get restored from the earth's electric force, then our cells begin to dance. I mean, think about it. When you're electrically charged, you feel like your cells are dancing, and that is exactly what's happening with your body. So we can restore energy simply by putting our bare feet into the earth. This past weekend, I even had a moment where I thought, all right, I could feel fatigue hanging from me. Fatigue sometimes feels like a really heavy sweater that you went out into the rain and got drenched, and then you came inside and the sweater is just hanging so heavy. It's a wool sweater, and it's so heavy on your shoulders and your back. That's what fatigue feels like to me. It's just like this thing that just drags you down. But I kicked off my shoes and I put my feet into the earth, and I just stood there for a second. And it was amazing to me that I didn't have to stay there very long. I think I was there maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And I felt restored just from that amount of time. And studies show that 30 minutes of earthing, you will begin reaping the benefits. Well, my studies showed that within 3 to 4 minutes, I began reaping the benefits. So it really does depend on the person, I believe. They're saying that more studies need to be shown on earthing to determine if it is truly as valuable as what people say. But you know what? This has been around a long time, y'all, and it impacts the health and vitality of the body. And so to me, if we can do our own step, because we are our own best student, we're our own best teacher. And so whenever you hear things from me or ideas or suggestions for your health and vitality, put it to the test, put it through your own study and see if it is as beneficial to you as I am suggesting that it might be. All right. So before we head on any further into our incredible discussion around earthing, I do want to check in with your vitality score. You know, this past week was Memorial Day week, and I did not have a live show on Memorial Day. And so we didn't get to check in with the vitality score. So when you're looking at today, the vitality of your mental state, the energy of your mental state between a score of 1 to 10, where would you rate you? Between 1 and 10. Are you have a ton of mental clarity, mental energy, and are you at 8 to a 10, or are you a little slow on the getting out of the gate today and more below a 5? So give your mental score. Next, we're going to go into your emotional. Emotionally, where are you today between 1 and 10? These scores help you to identify areas of your life where you need to do some focus work. And that is all the score is for. It is not to be in a competition with yourself around, you know, how good you can be. This is truly about you being attentive to what is going on in your own life, your own mental state, emotional state, physical and spiritual, so that you can put some attention, loving attention on it, and begin elevating that area of your life. How about your physical performance today? How do you feel physically? Do you feel like you have all the energy that you could ever desire today? Or are you doing the 8 to 10, or are you down low below a 5? And then you have your spiritual. Spiritually, where are you today? In your spiritual life, your spiritual health, are you feeling the vitality flow through you spiritually, or are you a little disconnected, a little lost? If you're a little lost, then it's below 5. If you are connected and you're aligned, then you're above a 5. Add those scores together. That gives you your overall vitality score, and the highest score is a 40. See how you rate there. Let me know how it is. All right. So when we break off into the live audience, we can begin discussing a little bit about y'all's scores and how earthing can truly impact all of the scores, right? Earthing is connected to your spiritual health, your emotional health, your physical health, and your mental health. So that is one powerful way to get elevated in your vitality. Okay, so take a breath right now. Just breathe. Yeah, doesn't that feel good? Just to relax and just to breathe for a moment. All right, so number 1, what can earthing do for you? Now, these are not in any order, meaning it's not the top number 1 reason. It's none of that. These are 10 reasons, but you can do them in any order. All right, so the first one I want to share with you is that around the mental health, and that is enhancing your mood. So those who experience anxiety and depression, trauma, post-trauma, any of those experiences in your life that have you feeling sad, melancholy, earthing will help enhance your mood. You know, y'all, just getting your feet in the dirt. Remember when you were a kid, how you loved to get your feet in the dirt? You loved to play in mud. We made mud pies. I don't know about you, but you know, getting all earthy was super fun. It'll bring in that childlike zest, that little giggle. It enhances that mood. and reminds you of a day when things were a little bit lighter. So if you have been experiencing anxiety, and there are several that I've been in contact with lately that has anxiety and just melancholia, and they are depressed. And when you feel that sadness within, there is nothing more restorative than pulling your shoes and socks off, putting your feet in the earth. And I suggest grass for this exercise. And you just walk your toes, right? Curl your toes up into the grass, like you're going to pull the grass out of the earth. And just do that for as long as you can, and then relax them. And then do it again. You don't want to cause big cramps or anything, but just letting your toes sift through the grass and the dirt is super beneficial for your mood. And then just take a walk in it. Just take a walk out into the grass. So it lowers, number 2 is it lowers our stress. How can it do that? Y'all, the earth impacts and lowers cortisol levels. So the cortisol that is spewed off in the brain when you're under stress, right? It's like this little pump, and it goes, and it spews it off, and it coats your brain in cortisol. And when that happens, you can lose memories, right? So cortisol bathes your memories away. It washes them away. And so by lowering cortisol, you will be able to increase your memory power. But also the cortisol sets up shop, around the middle when we have excess shooting off. You've heard of when people are under a lot of stress, they could possibly gain weight during that time. And it's cortisol. And it sets up shop around the waist, the hips, the back of the arms, all those lovely places. By putting your feet into the earth, you can lower cortisol. Y'all, that right there is the best diet pill ever. You don't need any, little tablet. You could just go out and put your feet in the earth for 30 minutes every single day, lower your cortisol levels, and lower that risk of adipose tissue setting up shop in the areas where you do not want. All right, so number 3, this one I love, and I heard this. In fact, my younger brother shared this one with me, and I was like, what? I had no idea. And then as I'm researching more about earthing, I found it in all the data. But jet lag, you can help your jet lag and even eliminate jet lag by the moment you land. As soon after you land as you can, you go and put your feet in the earth of the time zone you're in. And that will diminish your jet lag. You won't have jet lag, from what I understand. I haven't done this. And all these trips my husband and I took to Maui for several years, and I never did know this little trick that would have been super handy coming back. But put your feet into the earth, and I suggest the 30 minutes on that one. I would. Barefoot 30 minutes, and you could eliminate that. That is super powerful. So it's just going to help your body to adjust to that time zone rapidly. Yeah, superpowers. That is an earthing superpower, I believe. All right. So next we have reduced inflammation is on our next list. Reduced inflammation. So how does this happen? So there's negatively charged ions that the earth gives off, right? And those are absorbed into our physical body, and that inhibits free radical production. So free radicals are those little Pac-Men that when you're under stress, free radicals are released. From the environment, the air you breathe could be toxic, and free radicals are released. We can get it from non-nutritious foods. Free radicals can come from nowhere. They also come at you after exercise, because that kind of heavy breathing promotes free radical production. Well, earthing helps to absorb those free radicals, and keeps them from doing damage to your body. And that is what decreases the inflammation by earthing. is those negatively charged ions that the earth emits. Oh, that is also a superpower of earthing. Yes. So if you have any inflammation, and we know that inflammation causes dis-ease in the body, causes illnesses, it's just the breeding ground for things to go awry in your body. We want to reduce inflammation as much as possible. Lately, you've been hearing about that when people talk about gut health, because if the gut is inflamed, then you're not digesting fully. You're not able to absorb and assimilate the nutrients from the foods. And we want to get that inflammation out. We do that by one way, through pre and probiotics. Well, guess what? Your feet into the earth are just being saturated with pre and probiotics and the negatively charged ions. So you have got so much benefit going from your feet all the way up into your body to the top of your beautiful little head. Earthing will help your body fight, reduce inflammation. Beautiful. The next one, which I just touched on a little bit, is it will also help improve your digestion. And this really does work, y'all. I had digestive issues for years. And one of the things that I would do is I would kick my shoes off and I would go walking out in our backyard. And I would focus on long, slow, smooth, deep, and even breathing. Really getting that belly pump going, expanding it, having it collapse, lock up, right? Just the full breath, and getting that diaphragm massaging the tummy, but also walking on the earth. And that combination was always so helpful and beneficial to help my digestive system go into rest mode instead of freak out dance mode. So give that a try. Long, slow, smooth, deep, and even breathing while you're earth walking, barefoot, and see if that didn't help you with your digestion as well. Earthing has also been shown to enhance circulation. Circulation, I would say, is very important, right? Would you agree? Circulation of our blood. So we need our heart to pump hard enough, strong enough. It's more about strength versus hard. You want the heart strong enough in order for it to pump efficiently the blood through the body and back again, over and over and over again. And when we have a weak heart, that doesn't happen very easily. We can have a weak heart not only from non-exercise, non-participation, we can have it also from emotional experiences, also can weaken the heart. Mental stress can weaken your heart. Spiritual stress, not being connected, can weaken the heart. Things that make the heart strong is being spiritually connected, being emotionally balanced, mentally clear, so reducing the stress, the mental stress in your life. And then also on the physical realm, we've got those negatively charged ions, right? That as we step into the earth, those will help promote the circulation through our body by improving the red blood cell charges, right? So we want to increase that production of red blood cells, keep them on point so that our circulation stays pumping through that heart. So if you feel that your circulation is a little stunted, and you can tell that it is by cold fingertips and toe tips when it's abnormally warm and there's no reason why they should be cold, then that is usually a sign of lack of circulation. Some people's nail beds turn purple or blue when they have lack of circulation. So if you get chilled easy, those kinds of things, you might want to consider earthing to help support you in your process of that. There's also incredible supplementation you can do for the need of circulation. So just contact your naturopath or osteopath, integrative doctor, functional medicine doctor, and they can help direct you on that if circulation is an issue for you. Improved immune function, of course, after all these things we've been talking about, reducing the inflammation especially, of course, our immune system would be boosted. And also it promotes proper cell function. Our cells have a process, y'all, and those negatively charged ions help promote that process, the cellular function and their process. Increased energy levels, of course, that childlike zest comes out when our feet hit the dirt. It balances the body's electrical systems. I believe we covered this in the very beginning of the show. However, I do want to stress it again because I think that is so fascinating that the earth, being barefoot in the earth, has been shown to balance our own electrical system within our body. That's a major superpower. It is. So it will increase your energy and decrease your fatigue. Those out there that have been having those fatigue issues around that heavy sweater that I spoke of earlier, I do encourage you to get outside and in the earth and see how it can benefit that fatigue. It also improves sleep quality. I speak a lot about circadian rhythm and how important it is to be in alignment with the sun. As the sun goes down, your body's beginning to slow down, unwind, and then it is ready for bed and for you to catch the angel train by 10 o'clock, 9 to 10 to 10:30 at the latest. That's the sweet spot. So when we go to bed with circadian rhythm and we rise with the sun, then our melatonin production gets balanced. Earthing helps promote that natural circadian rhythm in the body in order to help your body's melatonin production. And that will help improve your sleep, of course, and your ability to be relaxed and relax at night. So those are the top 10 reasons why you could add earthing today and experience an incredible leveling up of your health and vitality. Super fun, super fun. So how do we do this? How do we do it? So we know that experts say 30 minutes is enough to begin reaping the benefit of earthing. But let's say right now you're thinking 30 minutes a day, there's no way I can fit that in. We never want to go big. If we go big to start with, 9 times out of 10, most human beings on planet Earth are going to quit before they ever got started. So what I suggest doing is to schedule your earthing session every single day. So how about after you exercise, if you exercise in the morning or the evening, afternoon, doesn't matter, put it after you exercise, kick those shoes off and go out and do 5 minutes of feet into the earth. Or you could lie down in the grass, whatever you would love. 5 minutes every day, every other day. Find the timing that works best for you. You may also find that 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that was always my favorite time. There's something about 3 o'clock for me that I want to go head out the door and do some earthing. But at 3 to 4:30 is that time when we called it bewitching hour when my kids were young, because it's just like all of a sudden they're running around, acting all strange. And, it's like, what kicked that off? It's just that bewitching time. And so, but if you go out during that time, because that's stress, between 3 and 6 is a high stress point of the day. And if you insert some earthing in there, it will help you to reduce that stress level. Okay. Another thing that you can do if you can't go outside is put your hands in soil. So if you live in an apartment, make sure you have some big potted plants and just play with the soil in there. Get some good soil, right? And you don't want a lot of chemicals in it. That kind of defeats the purpose of the negatively charged ions, right? So chemical-free, dirt in the pot, and just put your hands in it. You could also have an earthing pot. This is a really good idea. I just thought of it. An earthing pot, and fill it up with some really good dirt and you could just have your earthing pot or you just put your hands in it. If you live in an apartment, if you get a big enough pot, you could also put your feet in it, whatever you would love. But they also make grounding socks, sheets, bedding. So there's also that option as well that will help you. Nice. That's fun, isn't it? I can't wait to go outside and put my feet in the earth. All right, y'all. So that is what I have for you today on Ashley's Heart Song. I did want to bring up just a couple of things to let you know what's coming up. I do a free program probably once every 4 months. It's about 3 times a year. It's called the 3 Brains Vitality Reboot. 3 Brains Vitality Reboot. And that is on Facebook. You can join up through Facebook. It's a group. And in that group, I will show up live once every 4 months to do a master class or several master classes in a row. Sometimes it's a 1-day event for an hour, hour and a half. Other times it's 3 to 4 days. And that is coming up June 16th. June 16th at 1 p.m. Central Time is the 3 Brains Vitality Reboot. So if you would love to do that, please go to Facebook and look up 3 Brains Vitality Reboot. And that group will come up and ask to join the group. And we will let you in. After answering those qualifying questions, of course, we will let you in and you will be able to be there for the live program that is coming up. And it's all going to be about the breath and the mind, right? How to bring in the breath to slow down the mind and to really work with those agents that keep you from doing what you had intended to do, right? Instead of getting you off on a rabbit trail. So we're going to use the breath work in order to help with that. All right. So that is the big topic for this 3 Brains Vitality Reboot. And that's coming up soon. So if you would love to do it, be sure and reach out through 3 Brains Vitality Reboot group on Facebook. And I look forward to seeing you then. Otherwise, I will see you next week on Ashley's Heart Song. This is on the Win-Win Women TV network that you can view through Apple TV, Amazon Fire, or Roku. So you can check us out there as well. Many shows are happening, lots of wisdom, lots of experiences being shared with women around the world. So be sure and tune in each Monday right here at 3 p.m. Central Time. All right, much love and a big O hug. I will be right back with y'all for the live in just a moment.